Yes, I think that the reporting that crime went down 35% in 2024 and then another 25% in the first 6 months of 2025, I don't think that those numbers are accurate at all, Mr. Chairman.
She looks over at him and she says, is there anything you'd like to say? His attorney stood up and said some things, but she says to him, when she asks him, is there anything he likes to say, I know you had a stressful day after listening to all of that. Is there anything you'd like to say? No, we did not receive justice. This is a heinous murder that he committed. He shot my grandson 7 times. He left the room and my grandson moaned. He went back in there and shot him more.
The Trump administration didn't need to mobilize the National Guard in D.C. because D.C.'s crime decreased by 35% in 2024. You've suggested that statistic was falsely inflated. In the House Oversight Committee, D.C. Chairman Mendelson said that you're lying. Is the 35% statistic inflated, and what is your response to Chairman Mendelson? And then also connected with that, do you think this is a common problem with crime statistics?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Chairman. What's interesting is when Chairman Mendelson referred to me as a liar in that congressional testimony, there was public information about, one, the Internal Affairs Division at the Metropolitan Police Department had publicly announced that they were investigating command staff officials for manipulating crime data. The accusation was that they were going into police databases, changing felonies to misdemeanors to keep crime numbers down. Second of all, at that time, the House Oversight Committee had also announced that they had launched an investigation into the manipulation of crime data as well. And in their public notice of that, it stated that they had a whistleblower within the department that confirmed this pattern of practice. And thirdly, the Department of Justice, through the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C., had also announced that they were investigating whether or not there were violations of the criminal code in the manipulation of crime data. So to suggest that my allegations that crime data is manipulated was somehow a lie, I believe that's belied by the facts that were already in evidence. So unfortunately, I think the irony is lost on Mr. Mendelson. But your question is, do I believe that crime data was inflated? Yes, I think that the police department, through its initial reporting, our members report to us quite often, albeit anecdotal, but I will tell you that it's ubiquitous. That when officers respond to the scene of a crime and they're investigating what they believe is a felony, that inevitably some management official will contact them either by arriving on the scene or by phone and direct them or sometimes even order them to take a report for lesser offenses, typically misdemeanors, to keep those crime stats down. In addition to that, there's obviously, as I mentioned, a number of investigations into the command staff for their manipulation of data. So yes, I think that the reporting that crime went down 35% in 2024 and then another 25% in the first 6 months of 2025, I don't think that those numbers are accurate at all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mrs. Cook, you read an impact statement at the sentencing of your grandson. Please explain what the judge said after you read your statement, and do you feel that justice was served?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. We read our impact statements. So let me tell you, Marty was so loving my family. We had at least 30 impact statements. And after we read them, she said to us, thank you for your impact statements. She looks over at the, I say killer. She looks over at him and she says, is there anything you'd like to say? His attorney stood up and said some things, but she says to him, when she asks him, is there anything he likes to say, I know you had a stressful day after listening to all of that. Is there anything you'd like to say? No, we did not receive justice. He was given consecutively or concurrently with the time that he was charged with guns and drugs, 10 years. Okay, so concurrently, so he had already did 4. So now how many years does that mean? That he get 5 years probation or on parole? So how many years does he actually do in jail? This is a heinous murder that he committed. He shot my grandson 7 times. He left the room, and my grandson moaned. He went back in there and shot him more.
Thank you, Mrs. Cook.
Thank you.
Senator Taylor, many on the left have pushed for further gun regulation to combat violent crime. We're seeing on these soft on crime cities. What are your thoughts about gun ownership? In your opinion, are more regulations needed to keep our communities safe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What I would say is that we need to remember the purpose of the Second Amendment was not about what kind of guns we can have, it was about what kind of government we can have. And what citizens in Memphis are fearful of are the guns that are on the streets by people that shouldn't have them. If you take, for example, Mr. Chairman, this picture here, this is a group of young men in a convenience store posing with long guns and handguns so that they can have a picture for social media. It's these type of pictures that I want to try to stress, because they don't have these guns because we don't have enough regulations. They have these guns because they don't follow the law. And we can pass all the gun laws you want, but criminals are criminals by nature. And we've had that problem since Cain slew Abel with a rock. And we don't need to continue to put restrictions on law-abiding citizens who just simply want to protect themselves in their homes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Taylor. Now, Senator Durbin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pemberton, the 3,000 officers in your union, is that correct?
Yes, Senator, that's correct.
Were you involved at all in January 6th, the insurrection that took place in the Capitol?
I was not there that day. I was at work that day monitoring the situation, but no, I was not present.
Did you get a chance to either talk to any of your officers who were here or to see any videos where your officers were assaulted?
Of course, yeah, dozens of our officers were injured, and we've spoken with all of them, yes.
Do you characterize their experience as a peaceful protest?
No, there was definitely a riot that day, yes, sir, and officers were injured.
So what was your reaction when President Donald Trump gave a full and unconditional pardon to 1,500 individuals who had been prosecuted for violence against police officers?
Well, it's frustrating to see that, but what I point to is since that day, since January 7th, 2021 through today, we've had 1,537 officers injured where someone has assaulted a police officer, and 95% of those cases have been no-papered by the U.S. Attorney's Office. So, yes, it's frustrating to have officers who are assaulted, but the vast majority of those people that assaulted officers that day were arrested and charged, and many of them convicted.
I'm asking about the full and unconditional pardon by the president, your reaction to that.
My reaction is that it's more frustrating to have suspects who assault police officers who are arrested by cops and have that case no-papered by a U.S. Attorney's Office than it is to have people who are convicted of crimes and spend years in jail and later be pardoned.